Hello, everybody. I'm John Locke, and I'd like to welcome you to the LockeInYourSuccess.com Trading Performance Podcast, where it's all about real traders, real problems, and real coaching. Listen up and enjoy the segment. Seeking that quick, easy dopamine hit to relieve your stress and fear promotes what we call reality distortion. And we kind of talked about that a little bit with the last slide. But what ends up happening is you tend to have these fantasy expectations. And by fantasy expectations, these are expectations that are promoted all over the place in the marketplace, right? So you want to make money fast, try this network marketing. You want to make fast, easy money, invest in real estate. You want to make fast, easy money, flip real estate. You want to make fast, easy money, trade. And we get these expectations, or we latch onto these things with fantasy expectations. In other words, I'm going to trade. It's going to be I'm just going to have to follow a set of instructions. I don't have to be uncertain. I can feel comfortable, and I can be sure that I'm going to make money with every trade because I'm going to have this holy grail trading strategy and everything's going to be wonderful. And the reason you fall for that is because you have all this stress and fear, and you're thinking there must be an easy, sure thing that I can do to quickly, that's fast, that I can quickly make money. And that leads to, again, seeking the holy grail trading strategy in regard to trading. And by the way, anybody who's traded, anybody who's flipped houses, anybody who's invested in real estate, anybody who's done network marketing, I've done all of those. You know it's not easy. I mean, you can make a lot of money doing it, but it sucks, right? There's a lot of work. There's a lot of uncertainty. You got to take risk. Sometimes you make money. Sometimes you lose money. You get whacked every once in a while. All of those things happen in all of those areas, as they do anywhere with life. Again, the fantasy expectation is the fast, easy money. You're not going to have to do anything. You're not going to be uncomfortable. You don't want to be living in that fantasy world. But we look for that fantasy if we're under the stress and fear trance. So we're going to be looking for the Holy Grail. And you know what? We can make the Holy Grail. What you look for, you find. You form fit back testing strategies. You look for proof in other people's results. And then you skew them, you bias them to match your beliefs that it's going to happen, right? Because that's a belief, right? Your fantasy expectation is a belief that you're going to find this holy grail trading strategy and everything's going to be easy and all this other stuff. And what you look for, you find. I found the sure thing. I created it. I deleted information. I distorted information so that I thought that it actually was what I was looking for. So I make it appear to be true. But once I start doing it, something interesting happens too. I have to get constant positive feedback. Why do I have to get constant positive feedback? I have to have my dopamine hit. And plus, I never really know for sure, right? I did all this stuff to make sure, to give me enough confidence to actually do this thing, and to be confident that I wouldn't lose money doing this thing, and to be confident that everything was going to be okay. I did all this stuff to prove that, but I don't really believe it, because you can never be sure enough with what's at stake. What's at stake? Well, failure is at stake. Not succeeding is at stake. Not being worthy is at stake. This is like, you see how I'm tying all this stuff in here? With that at stake, I have to be sure. And I have to get constant positive feedback. I can't even rely on my back testing, even if it was true. I can't even do that, because I have to be sure. And then when you're in this situation, you eventually have a reality fantasy collision, we call them. And actually, Jared Tendler, when I was talking to him, he came up with the reality fantasy collision with one of our discussions. It's where fantasy meets reality, and you find out that your sure thing is not exactly a sure thing. Your process didn't meet your instant and consistent positive feedback expectations. That being the case, you're crushed, you're shattered, your confidence goes down. Of course, you're still stressed and fearful, and you become even more desperate, and you look for the next sure thing, and you repeat the pattern over and over and over again. And this, leads to the circle of trying trading strategy after trading strategy, scaling up. When you win, scaling down when you lose and then trying something else and then going over and over and over again, where you never really learn how to trade. Okay, this is where all that leads. So the important section here. So why is this happening? Well, it's happening because you've chosen to believe that you must meet some self-created, imaginary, unrealistic, or undefined high standard in order to prove a self-defined or undefined standard of worthiness, or else you will suffer a self-inflicted negative consequence that is so terrible that you don't even know what it is. You're even afraid to define it, right? That's what creates the whole thing, and that is the root cause.
And that is what I have for you today. If you have any questions or comments or anything else you'd like to see in the next Trading Performance podcast, please list that in the comments and I'll personally answer your questions and comments for you. Also, I'd love to encourage you to come on over to lockeinyoursuccess.com. That's LOCKE in yoursuccess.com, and check out our Trading Performance and Pro memberships, where you can find the tools you need to become a much more effective trader, regardless of the type of trading you do. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on the next Trading Performance podcast.